All right. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I am super, super excited. My name is Christy, Dr. Christy Iwuchuku, and I am coming to you as usual from the Sunshine State of California, the beautiful city of Sacramento. We are going to have such an awesome show today. This is the first episode of Narrate Your Story TV, where I bring guests all over the world to share with you how it is the path to your journey to live a better life, your journey to have civility. Because, as you know, civility is the common ground in which we all live together, live in a better place in the whole world. So, I am super excited for today's show. But before I get to today's show, I can't get it out. The guest that I am about to introduce to you today, if you haven't seen him, if you haven't heard about him, you are in for a treat. So I want you to go ahead and lean in, bring in your favorite drink, and listen in, watch, and most of us comment and come back every Monday at 9 a.m. Today happens to be a special day because today is the first day that we are doing this show. So today is a special day, but every Monday, this show will be coming to you 9 a.m. So invite other friends, join in, and leave your questions. And I can't wait to dive into this conversation. Today, we are talking about civility. Like I said, it's a common ground. Without civility, that's why we have a lot of problem in this world right now. And what a better person to talk about civility and how to communicate and get along with one another. My guest today, it's also coming to us all the way from the Sunshine State of
California.
California,
Yes, yes,
the city of Victorville.
yes.
That's right. And who am I talking about? Now, this man, if you know about the Iroko tree, now some of you may know about the Iroko tree. The Iroko tree grows an average of 164 feet. Did you hear that? It grows to an average of 164 feet. And what is so peculiar and unique about an Iroko tree? An Iroko tree is tough, an Iroko tree is dense, an Iroko tree is durable. And when I talk about the impact, the influence of our next guest, when you hear him, you would understand. And guess what? I don't even think I can do justice if I start reading all his bios because his work speaks for itself. That's right. His work speaks for itself. And who am I talking about? Wait just a minute. Let me tell you just a little bit of who I'm talking about. He is the president of I Change Nation. He is known, like I said, across the world. When I started, Doctor, when I started, when I was doing my research, and I got to talk to people that he has impacted across the globe. The word that I hear, I already know it, is humility. The word that I heard is humble, being humble, but also really caring, so much so that he will give everything to make other people feel better. And so today I bring to you none other than the king. And if you didn't get a chance to watch the enthronement on July 9th, don't worry, because the coronation, his coronation, is coming soon, and you don't want to miss that. I'm here to introduce to you my guest star today, the Honorable His Royal Highness, King Okujeman, Kobina Amisa the first. Who am I talking about? The next voice that you're going to be here will be that of Sir Clyde Rivers. Welcome to the show.
Dr. Christie, thank you so much. I'm so excited to be here because what like you're building will impact the world for years. So, and I really appreciate the fact that you started a much needed show. So this thing will go big. It'll have followers all over the world because it's a solution to the world's problems.
Awesome, awesome. So, everybody, get ready. This is your story, your voice, your conversation, and let's speak on it on Narrate Your Story TV. Your Royal Highness, for those people that don't know who you are, can you just share with our listeners who are you?
Yes, thank you. What it is, man, I grew up in Victorville, California. I was special education. Um, I rode a short bus to a special school, and man, and that was supposed to be a sentence in my life that was supposed to walk me down a path that wasn't going to be good. But instead, I became a basketball player, and I took the energy and I used it on the basketball court, and I got a Division I basketball scholarship to University of Utah. And then I found God in college, and my entire life has it's a story worth narrating. I'm humbled.
You know, I'm glad that I got to meet you. And ever since then, I can't even tell you how grateful that I am walking on this path with you. It really is an honor to get to interview you today. Like I said at the beginning, when I got to talk to some of the people that you have impacted, you have sent to school, to send to colleges, you have sent them to have their master's degrees, you have sent them to have their PhD degree just because of who you are. It says a whole lot about you. So, what really drives you?
You know, that's a great question, Dr. Christie. I believe what drives me now is I believe every individual born is a gift from God. And I believe many times people don't know where to find that place. And my job is to make sure everyone lives to have a chance to bring their God contribution to the world.
Everyone lives to bring God's contribution to the world. We normally hear people when they are on the mountaintop, when they have accomplished so much, and there may be people looking at you right now and saying, I don't think what he has that I deserve it. But as I've always said, there's always a journey that gets you to the mountaintop. You cannot go to the mountaintop without going through the valley. And it is in the valley that we learn the greatest lesson. Please take some time and share with our listeners. How was that walk for you from the valley
Wow.
to where you are?
Wow. You know what that walk is, Dr. Christie? I think people, this, what I'm going to share with people, it may shock them. Sometimes God has a timing for your gift in the on the world stage. Nothing can bring your gift to the stage before that time.
Mm,
So sometimes if God wants you to be a star in the limelight in at 2025, no matter what you do in 2021, it's not enough because God has a divine time. In his divine time, guess what he does? He walks you through things. He walks you through defeats. He walks you through victories. He makes you wonder, what am I doing? Should I quit? Should I go in? All those is part of your education. I always tell people, don't pay your way out of your education. Your education is the experiences that you're having. You're ordained to have those experiences. Ordained, ordained, set aside to have to have failures. What do failures do? It helps you relook at things. And as you reassess, it makes you smarter. So I've never been afraid to venture out. Oh, I've failed often, but I get back up smarter the next time.
Awesome, awesome. You know, I,
Dr. Christie,
go ahead.
go, no, because you go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, okay, I'll go. On that line that we're talking about, I have been around the block. I've always tell people I have been around the block. I have had my bruises. But like you said, when you get up a little bit smarter. I've always said you can pause, but never stop. Because if you stop, you never get to win. You
Wow.
can't win if you are not in the ring.
Wow. That's so good.
So help me understand, help our listeners understand a little bit, because we don't have time to go through it today. It is so much, a lot of things that you do around the world. Talk about the culture of honor and the golden rule.
When I when I went into Africa, Africa has been a place that God has really opened for me in a lot of ways. When I went to Africa, I saw great people that weren't recognized. I saw people within their own cultures pulled down when they did good. And I said, no, 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 no. I said, we have to change the image. We have to show people all over the world what the standard of good is. And so God gave me, I Changed Nations 6 years ago, and now I've honored people in over 154 countries. We are the world's largest culture of honor organization in the globe. Now that Christy, what am I saying this for? An idea from God is the most powerful thing in the world. So God gave me the idea. I took it. I walked it out by God's grace. And again, people, stop looking for perfection. Everything is process. That's why when you lose, it's not really a loss. It's part of the process because the overall game needed you to lose there so you could win the big battles. Does that make sense, Dr. Christie?
Oh, it makes more than it makes every sense, because like I said, this journey, if you don't take the time to step back and reflect, like you said, and really think about where am I going, it will derail you so much so that you don't want to get up. You don't want to continue to journey. And like I said, I've been around the block. And so I know what bruises feels like. But here I am today talking to you. That if I had stopped, I may never been able to talk to you. So, how, from your own perspective, when we look out today, even in this pandemic, a lot of people have given up on their dreams. A lot of people have said, I can't do it anymore. A lot of people have tried and tried and tried, and they keep failing. Just at that point where they're about to get the win, they quit. What can you share with us, our audience? Because I know with this pandemic, there are a lot of people going through mess. What can you offer us?
Yeah, what I would say is this. When you get to the end of yourself, that's when you ask God for the next step. But
Mm.
the average person gets off because the average person walks off the path. Says, no, that wasn't God. Well, it was. Sometimes God brings us to the end of ourself. And when you ask for help, and Dr. Christine, sometimes your like next step isn't as big or as grandiose as you like it. It's
Ooh.
a simple, small step that God said do. And see, people don't like it because really, 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 people are conditioned that everything comes quick. Good things don't come quick. Good things, if you're going to build something, it takes time. because God turns you into the product you have to become. So that means a transformation of you. When he transforms you, now you transform the people.
Wow. Wow. Like I said, in my work, working with women, one of the things that hold us back is not so much of the lack of confidence, is not feeling like we are good enough, is feeling that doubt, the feeling
Yeah.
that doubt. Am I doing enough? Do I even know what I'm doing? Are other people going to judge me? Are other people going to laugh at me? And
Yes.
oftentimes that derails us, that we die with our dreams inside of us. If there's somebody looking at you right now and they are trying to get started, walking through that path, knowing that there are going to be some bruises and it's going to be a long journey, what would you offer that person on how to even get lifted up and begin the walk?
The first question I would ask them is, what's their overall objective? Because most people are looking for a transaction, but
Mm,
no, most people are looking to win a battle, but not the war. So they want to start quick and make a lot of money real quick. Well, that doesn't happen for this reason. A new idea for you, if they haven't heard it, it's new to the mind of the hearer. So the people have to listen to it time and time again and buy it. Let me give you an example, Dr. Christie. Have you ever seen a new fashion that comes out, and the first day you see it, you hate it? And then you end up wearing those clothes 1 year down the road. What happened? That person advertised it enough. You saw it in your mind, are you are wearing what you didn't like when it first came out. So I tell people, when you're building new stuff, you got to do the same thing. People may not hear it, they may not like it the first time, but keep telling them over and over again, and you will get people that have buy-in, because the picture is not painted in their mind.
because the picture is not painted in their mind. So I'm going to take a brief in here and say hello to our viewers. Troy, Troy, we met Troy in Gary, Indiana during the World Civility.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
That's the water guy.
Yes, the water guy. Excellent water. If it wasn't too far, I would have bought a box of water. That was a good
As
water.
a matter of fact, Dr. Christie, why don't you have Troy on the show?
I will. I definitely will have him on the show. Welcome, Troy. And here's my good friend, Samina Fernandez, coming to us all the way from Canada. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching, Samina. I appreciate you guys. And please don't forget to type in your question. If you have any question for His Royal Highness, please go ahead and type in the question and I will get to your questions. So as we continue our journey, we are waiting for your celebration of your coronation. It's
Yes, yes,
already
yes.
happened. And like I was asking you earlier, getting to the top, and people are watching you. How did he do it? All over the world, they searched and they searched and they searched, and they found one man in United States, in the city of Victorville, to be the economic development king in Ghana, Africa. I gave your name, but I didn't say where. In Ghana, Africa. And so very soon, the celebration for your coronation will be here. And some of us will be attending to support you.
Yes.
It hasn't always been easy for you.
No.
People would think it has been. What is one thing that has helped you get to where you are?
Vision. Let me tell you. You're I'm going to give you a key here, that if you take this key, it will drive your life. Every day, you may have a vision, but God knows the steps. So what happens sometimes, it looks like I'm stepping in the wrong direction, but I'm stepping on the right stage. So it's because it's always bigger than you can imagine. So what happens is your understanding will always set limits. So at a certain point in my life, I said, if I can figure this out, it's probably too small. And now I'm becoming a development king over 56 cities in Ghana, Africa.
Wow.
That there's only steps of obedience every day will walk you to the path of greatness for God. And when I say for God, it's not about you being exalted. Most people want to exalt them. No, 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 no. If you lift God up, he'll lift you up. So that's what I do different. And there's a principle I've learned, Dr. Christie, make everybody great around you. Whoever comes, make them great. Make them great. So it's a change of concept. Most people want to control people. I want to
Mm.
make people great without controlling them.
And I'm definitely a recipient of that. And like I said, I can't thank you enough.
Wait, you
So,
narrate your story. I'm sorry, Dr. Christie, I have to interrupt. Ladies and gentlemen, Dr. Christie's narrate your story. You don't know what you're in for. She's created an algorithm that's helping people know what kind of temperament, what kind of communicator they are. Now, watch this here. Why is this important? I travel the world, and most people don't know how to narrate their story. In the villages, in different parts of America, all over, people don't know how to narrate. So, Dr. Christie, what she's bringing to the stage, narrate your story, there's nothing like it. So when you can stand up, and if she wasn't a dynamic speaker, if she wasn't dynamic at helping people, so she narrate your story is about how to narrate it, how to speak it, how to write it, how to deliver the message of you to the world. She's a genius, ladies and gentlemen. That woman right there you're looking at, that's Dr. Christie, genius Irujiku.
thank you. The spotlight is supposed to be actually on you, not on me. But thank you for saying what you said. I appreciate that. That goes to say about your humility, like I was saying earlier. So, as we continue with this conversation, I want to know, what do you see are the three mistakes that are holding people down from moving forward?
First mistake, they look for perfection. Perfection stops more people from taking steps than I've seen before. I gotta get this right. No, no, no. Step. God helps you get it right. Second, number two, they think the process is more difficult than it is because they base what they want to build off somebody else's platform. Well, if it took that person 20 years, yours, if you follow God, it may take you a year. And the actual process to actually perfection, you have to have thick skin. If you're sensitive and every word hurts you, you'll never progress far because when you're a pioneer, no one's seen it before. So it's always criticized because it's a new concept. And three, I would say wanting to make money too fast.
That's a big one.
Yeah, they want to make money too fast, and they don't understand there has to be a good infrastructure to make sustainable development, and
Woo!
not so they come and say, I took this course, I want to make this. I'm like, wait. No, you don't own your message. See, Dr. Christie, one of the great things about you again is narrate your story. You are that message. That this isn't something. This isn't something that this is who you are. I mean, you articulate well. You get your point across. You are narrate your story. So now it's easy for you to help others with what you put together because it's you. Now, most people will buy your book and they'll think that they can read the book and be you. No, no. You'll read the book, but you'll never be her because her experiences tailor-made her for this design. So those are my three things.
You know, you said it so well, because I know that when I was starting out, everything you said is exactly how it was for me. And we live in a society, in a microwavable society. In this, our microwavable, we want everything so fast, so quick. But in doing so, sometimes we miss the point. We miss the point. Again, when you miss the point, it may not be that sustainable. But sometimes, just like the food, if you marinate it, cook it slowly in a crock pot, it may take longer to cook that food. But guess what? It's falling off the bone. It
That's
tastes
it.
better than anything else. Like I said, it may take time for you to cook that food, but at the end of it, it's yummy. So is this whole
So
thing.
true.
And right now, in this our society, it's too noisy and people get distracted. And you can have so many things coming to you at the same time. How do I discern? This person is saying this is in. This person is saying you don't know what you're doing. This person is saying all of that. Discernment happens to be the key. Now, you've traveled around the world. You've been criticized, like you said. How do you keep going?
Many times, man, please, people, listen to this. Your critics don't know what your blueprint is.
Hmm.
Many of your critics are picking a bit and piece, a jot and tittle of what you're doing. And they end up criticizing you because they see one thing, but they don't understand what the big blueprint is. So I've learned not to be blinded by their small mindedness. Does that make sense?
That makes more than enough sense. That makes
Yes.
more than enough sense. And it's difficult sometimes to form your own opinion and stick with it. Form your own opinion and stick with it, because everyone has an opinion on what you're doing. Everyone seems to know the right thing to do. Everyone seems to know the right thing for you. Now, I remember years ago when I was starting out, I used to answer, and I still do, Lady Christie. And I remember very well that I would go out and people will ask me, are you a pastor's wife? Only a pastor's wife is supposed to answer lady, right?
Yes.
And I listened. And I listened. And what holds a lot of us back is that listen. And it's not so much about what other people said, it's what you are thinking after they said what they said. You talked about coming up with, you had challenges traveling. What do you think, as you travel to these other countries, are the most challenges that you see people are facing right now?
I see different education institutions, they give people a fixed mindset.
Mm,
So when you get a fixed mindset in an ever-changing world, at some point your fixed mindset blocks you from moving. So my thing is innovators control change, not system people. Am I saying education is wrong? Absolutely not. Am I saying the wrong education is? Absolutely. If you teach me how not to think for myself, I'll
mm,
always need you. And then that at first that has some perks for it. So then it gets to a point to where the individual that you're helping, that's put you in this wrong thinking. One day when it crashes down, now they got to take care of you. So now they're mad because they actually benefited for a season, but then all the benefits crashed. So now they have to value you. So I tell people, innovative mindset. But to be an innovator, you have to have thick skin. Why? Because when you start walking, other people have never seen before. What is that? Is that valid? Wait. What actually made this valid was an idea. An idea made it valid. I'm living the I Change Nations idea. That was a thought. Now it's in over 154 countries.
You talked about I Change Nation idea. Let's talk a little bit about such a epidemic. And
Yes,
people probably they've heard about it. What is that all about?
Dr. Christie, we honored you with an honorary doctorate for this reason. Let me explain to the audience why. We believe that there are two types of actually learning structures. Research. See, just that word research, means again. So research means to look at something again. So we said, wait, what about an actual searcher? So a searcher for us is a person that brings new knowledge into existence. If it wasn't for a searcher, there's nothing to research. So my United Graduate College and Seminary, based out of Kampala, Uganda, with the worldwide evangelical accreditation, we look for people that create innovative ideas, that they walk the evidence into existence. So, Dr. Christie, we honored you because of Narrate Your Story Now. You've created a new paradigm of learner. So we classify you as a searcher. Now, other people will have to research you because you've created another narrative that will impact the globe. And see, for us, faith is the evidence. There was enough faith to cause you to take a step. So that for us is our evidence-based learning is the faith that you step into, because faith is the evidence. So what you stepped out in and you created this thing, and we have, listen to this, we have hundreds of people around the world that have created brand new paradigms. So they are searchers look for new knowledge to bring it into existence. A researcher has to search again for answers, and both are okay. So I tell people, we don't criticize yours, don't criticize ours. If you do, I promise you, we're not gonna stop. Dr. Christie is worthy. She's earned it just like other people with her innovation. So we're honored, Dr. Christie.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that. Appreciate that. And again, if you, for our viewers, thank you so much for joining us. Samina and Troy, if you have any question, please go ahead and drop in your question and we will be right back to you. Continuing on, I cannot imagine how tirelessly you work from morning to night. You don't even stop weekdays. You go 7 days a week. You are still working. How does what you do benefit humanity?
Wow. My job as the World Civility leader and spokesperson, I believe this world has a great deficit. And what it is, it's actually people currency that has value. Most of the people in the world, 70% around there, live on under $1.25 a day. So living, okay, so think about 70% of the world that doesn't have access to bring their real gift to the stage. And see, and of course, I come from a biblical worldview. So I believe those 7.8 billion people are God's solution for 7.8 billion people, because we're called to solve each other's problems. So my job is to make sure 7.8 billion people can live, to bring their idea to help somebody's problem be solved around the world.
You know, as you are talking, I'm thinking about something, and that is the cookie cutter approach. That, you know, that's really what the whole world is all about with internet, with technology, the cookie cutter approach. We want to do it fast. We want to do it like it was yesterday.
Yeah.
How, in your opinion, can somebody sustain growth, but at the same time still want to move to the rhythm of where we are going in the world today?
I think the greatest thing, to me, the only sustainable thing for a long time is to get a God idea and obey the steps. Listen to me, get a God idea, because what God orders, He pays for, and understand how He'll use you to walk the steps, and it'll be non-traditional and unconventional. So people that get locked into the system, they miss. Dr. Christie, one of the biggest things I face is people no confidence in their own self.
Mm.
They'll read a book and believe everything the book says, but they will have no confidence in their own ideas.
And you said it so well. I was going to follow up on that because that's absolutely true. And that's why I talked about in this new wave that we are currently on, the technology, they do it now. They do it like right away with urgency. And oftentimes, and I said before, we miss the mark. We do miss the mark. But it's very difficult. And I'm looking at Mary. I'm looking at Jones. I'm looking at Martha. And they are moving so fast. It is almost like if I don't move as fast as they are, it feels like I don't know what I'm doing. It feels like
Ah,
I don't get it. And that's the challenges that I see even when I coach women. And I too, I came from that. So I know, and that's why I'm able to help other people in narrating their story. Because oftentimes we find it difficult to write our own script. We find it difficult to say, no, this is where I'm putting this signpost. I'm putting my stake right here. I, I can't have it any other way. Inwardly, inherently, you just want to do it like this other person. Before we end this conversation, share with us your view on what I just said.
being confident in yourself, that's that's one of the lost arts of the world. Just, Dr. Christie, think for a second. I create a system, and in that system, I define what's smart. What happens if I miss your gifting? What if your gifting isn't in the equation of what they call smart, but it's given by God? So what I see is this: I live off my ideas. My ideas fuel me. My ideas, thoughts that come to me. And now I learn, I don't always run my thoughts past other people for their approvals. Because let me tell you why Martha and Mary can move so fast. The Bible says when you're faithful over little, the next step is ruler. So most people miss their stewardship by trying to be rulers too early.
Eh,
Go through the stewardship so when you rule well. Thank you, Dr. Christie.
And I think I second to that opinion. I second to what you said because, like we were talking earlier about the bruises on your way to the top, the bruises in the valley, and you said don't pay your way through your education. And the reason I'm able to help these other women in narrating their story, in being able to stand up and speak, regardless of whether it makes sense to somebody else or not. It is your understanding, it's your idea.
Yes.
It's what you've been through, it's what you're going through, it's embracing all of it and much more so that you can express yourself, so that you can emerge to be who God created you to
Really
be.
good.
See, when I look at this crisis, I realize they are not the same. Each one of them is
Wow.
different. And
Yes.
oftentimes, people are looking at someone crisis and you're trying to fit it in. It will never be the same because every fingerprint is created uniquely. And uncovering that uniqueness is what most people
Wow.
really go through
It's
in
great,
life,
Dr. Christie.
right? And so, as we come to the close of this conversation, amazing conversation, impactful conversation, can you share with us your last word?
People, your ideas are the most valuable thing in the world. Never throw your ideas away. And just because you get an idea, it doesn't mean you can build it because you can buy everything to build it. When you get the idea, follow God every day. He's building you for something bigger than you can think. I'm living proof. Special education short bus to a king. To a
Mm,
king. I'm
mm,
living proof. I'm living proof. Thank
wow.
you, Dr. Christie.
That does it for this interview. From special education, I don't know whether everybody heard what he said. From special education to being a king in Ghana, Africa. And I can't wait for that celebration. I can't wait for your coronation sometime this year. And we're crossing our hands for this pandemic. So thank you all for joining us. We do this every Monday at 9 a.m. This is a special opening for today. So we did it at 5 p.m. But beginning next week is going to be 9 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So I hope that you join us, and I cannot wait to interact with all of you. His Royal Highness, anything that you're doing that you would like the world to join you in? Is there anything that you're doing right now that you would like people to
Yes.
join you in?
Yes. World civility. People, treat every human being with kindness and respect, even if you disagree. I need everybody in the world to do that so we can live. So we can so people have the chance to bring their God contribution to the world. So kindness and respect for 7.8 billion people, even those that you don't agree with. That's my recommendation.
Thank you. It has really been an honor to interview you, and I look forward to our connection. And thank you so much.
Thank you.
Everybody else, please, audience, listeners, join us again 9 a.m. on Mondays. Until next time, my name is Dr. Christy Wuchuku, and I am reminding you, as always, that your fingerprint is by design and not by choice. The world
Wow.
is waiting for you to rock your brilliance.
Wow.
Take care, everybody.